Good evening, everyone, and we welcome you into the OSU Athletics Center at the home of historic Gallagher-Iba Arena. And today, OSU Football Media Days. I am Larry Reese, honored to be sitting here with the play-by-play voice of the Cowboys going into your 15th season. Does that seem possible?
I think that's right, yeah.
It
doesn't seem possible.
Yeah, time flies when you're having fun, right?
Yeah, it does. There's been such a great run. Obviously the most successful time in Oklahoma State football history, and sort of in a reloading phase now for the next couple of seasons, which could be really, really fun.
Well, our fan base loves Dave Hunziker. There's no doubt about that, and you've done an amazing job here in a tough situation coming in after, we lost Bill Teagans and all of those things, but you have just been the perfect fit and done an amazing job, and you've seen kind of a great rise in the program here at Oklahoma State.
I've been really lucky, and I think, there's a couple of things. First of all, winning helps.
Yes.
People are a lot more patient with a guy when they're winning.
No.
And that was true. And so it's been, but just, I remember something Les Miles told me. I'd been here maybe 2 weeks. I got here August 1st before the 01 season, and Les and I went out to get something to eat just because we hadn't had a chance to talk.
Right.
And I said, what's your biggest challenge here? And he said, it's creating a winning mood. Mm-hmm. I don't know that culturally it's ever been a situation where in football people expected to win,
right,
and sort of understood that mentality. And you have to give him credit. He started that by, sort of bucking up to Oklahoma and really trying to hit OU in the mouth.
Our fan base loved that, and our student athletes believed in it.
And responded to it. And so that's been lots of fun to experience that change with the fan base and see that culture change. And the results are obvious, but that piece of it, I'll never forget that conversation, as he didn't even hesitate. That was his answer, and look what's happened. Well, who would have imagined then we would be where we are now?
Yeah, and Les Miles does deserve a lot of credit. I mean, he brought the program up, and then Mike Gundy came back home or took over the reins and really has taken it to a new level. OSU football has never been on stable footing like it is now. 9 straight bowl seasons, it's unbelievable.
Well, for example, you look at the caliber of assistant coaches he's been able to bring in this year with all the losses he had. Dan Hammerschmidt's coached the National Football League. Of course, Coach Arroyo was calling plays for the Tampa Bay Buccaneers a year ago. McIndoe, a very highly regarded coach from the FCS ranks. And then Coach Atkins has just been fantastic. And of course, he has an NFL pedigree and coached with Philip Fulmer at Tennessee. So that tells you a lot right there, that even some of those coaches were hired a little bit late, that you're able to go and get those caliber of coaches tells you exactly where you are. It tells you that people want to be here.
Athletics can be funny, and college football can be funny. And my example of that is 2 years ago, 10-3 season. You kind of limped to the finish line, a loss in Bedlam and a loss in the Cotton Bowl, and it was like the sky was falling.
Yeah.
But last year it felt like the sky was falling for a little bit, and Mason Rudolph comes in. The team, the offensive line gets a little healthier. Baylor looks better, and then the big win in Bedlam down at OU. And then the excitement of the Castleman game plan and everything at the Cactus Bowl. Now, after 7-6, there's so much optimism in the air. It's just kind of funny.
It is funny. When you're the youngest team in college football, I guess that happens, and that's where Oklahoma State was last year. But also, it tells you how much of this is mental. Yep. There is a lot of this that's mental, and when you're struggling offensively, that's the one thing I took away from last year that I think will always be wedged in my mind if I continue to do this for a living, is that when you're struggling offensively, that's the worst place you can be.
Right.
Because it is such a grind. The defense doesn't know if it's going to get any help. And in football, the defense doesn't score. I mean, if they gave you a point for a stop, that'd be different, but they don't. And so the defense grinds, the offense grinds, and it is a bad, bad place to be. And so Mason Rudolph comes in. You have a couple changes really by accident because of injury on the offensive line, that suddenly the next thing you know, you have some young guys playing much better than anybody would have expected. And boom, there's this enormous change. But so much of it is mental, especially when you're struggling. Any change sometimes can trigger a tremendous change.
Mike Gundy admitted to me the other night at the Tulsa Caravan, we had a great event over there. Thank you to OSU Tulsa and all the folks that came out. But he admitted that this is the best depth he's had.
Yeah.
2 deep wide, some positions 3 and 4 deep. And that's a good thing going into the season. And last year, really, the offensive line struggled because of injuries and lack of depth. Linebacker was also a spot that we were thin because of injuries. Those two positions really are going to be strengths this year.
You know, it's so funny too, because I think back to last year, and you're watching preseason practice, you're thinking, if we get an injury here, we get an injury here, or here, or here, about 4 different positions, we've got problems.
Right.
And this year, that's not the case. It's totally different. More linebackers of quality than I've seen in my 15 years at Oklahoma State. It's not even close. Deeper at corner than we've ever been. And really, in our league, in the Big 12, you cannot have enough corners. It's like me playing golf. I compare it to golf balls. In the Big 12, corners are like golf balls. You can never have enough. You can never have too many because you just can't.
I sure can't have enough golf balls.
Yeah,
that's
me
for
either.
sure.
But it's a good thing. And so yeah, it makes a big difference.
I can tell you're excited about this season. Our fan base is excited about this season. We're going to have many more interviews coming up. We're going to take just a short break, let you see a little video, and then we're going to come back and we're going to talk about another football here on campus in just a moment. So stick with us. OSU Football Media Days. More coming up right after this. All right. Come on, Courtney.
Towards the end of the summer, you're just dying to get your team back on the field, and we're excited to be out there. We got a good group. The energy level on the first day is always great, so they were getting after each other and competing, and our job now is just to make sure that continues on into preseason. Yeah, we got a lot of experience. You know, the senior class have played some of the best teams in the country and competed very well over the last 3 years. The juniors behind them as well. So there's a lot of players that will take the field for us that, you know, have played some huge games, have been in some really close Big 12 battles. We're ready. You know, it's just a matter now of getting everybody sharp and on the same page and getting ready to play.
First day is always fun. Everyone's kind of flying around, getting the jitters out, but it's great to be back on the field with everyone and have the new players back, and it feels good to be moving again. Our class has been here for a long time, and we haven't really necessarily won a Big 12 yet, and so we're all very determined to finally get a ring this year, hopefully, and I think everyone's on board with that, so I think we're all moving in the right direction.
You know, we're looking to contend for a Big 12 title this year, so we're trying to get the formation in, find the right people to fit in the right spots, and the biggest thing for us is working hard with each other this year and playing for each other and working as a unit, all 11, all 30 of us, whatever it is. We're all trying to achieve the same thing. Oh yeah, we've been the young team for 2-3 years now since I've been here, so we finally have a majority of juniors and seniors, and it's nice to have that leadership and that experience. You know, these girls, we've all played in tough games now. You show up, you put your uniform on, and you go out and get ready to fight any game, any team. So it's nice to have that experience and the players who know what to do in the tough situations and you know how to grit out a win.
When you only have a week, what you're hoping for is your kids come in fit, which I think we are. That way we can focus more on the ball work and the team. So first few days will be getting the rust out, getting lots of touches on the ball. Next few days kind of talking about our defense and how we want to put pressure on the ball and our defensive shape. And then we go into the SMU game, don't really work a whole lot on offense before that. But then you usually flip it around. Between SMU and Mercer, we'll start talking more about how we create chances and score goals, hopefully.
We welcome you back to OSU Football Media Days, and we've got 2 different kinds of footballs here. We brought the soccer ball on, and we're going to talk a little OSU soccer, and we've got Courtney Dike, who's been a great representative of Oklahoma State, great player, 2-time All-Big 12 forward for Coach Carmichael and the Cowgirls, and congratulations on your success here at Oklahoma State.
Thank you so
but we
much.
want to start off by talking about the World Cup. You became the first Oklahoma State player to play in the World Cup, and the first Oklahoman to do so. You've got to be proud of that. Tell us a little bit about that experience.
Oh, it was definitely the best experience of my life, you know, getting to play on the same field as players that I've grown up watching, you know, and watched all my life was just the best experience ever. It's something I'll never forget. And, you know, just growing from the teammates that I had, it's great. I still feel like it's kind of a dream, but
I can tell by your smile that you're still kind of giddy about the fact that you played in the FIFA World Cup, and,
Yes.
and we were all so proud of you and cheering you on. And you
Thank
played
you.
for Nigeria. Both of your parents originally from Nigeria.
Yes.
Tell me how they came to the U.S. and how they came to settle down in Oklahoma.
well, they just thought it was better for raising a family coming here, you know. They wanted a better life, so my mom played badminton, actually, and she was really
Wow.
good. She was first in her state and third in Nigeria, but she gave that up to come here and raise our family with my dad, so that's how we got here.
That is awesome. So a great experience for you and great representation of Oklahoma State with Courtney Dike. And preview the season coming up. You told me you feel good about this team.
Yes, definitely. We have a lot of, we have a lot of upperclassmen this season that have a lot of experience, so and we have a lot of good talent coming in as well. So I think, combining the two, I think we'll do really well. We have a bright future for us this season.
Well, this is your junior season, and you tell me you feel like this is the best talent that you've had on this team since you've been at Oklahoma State.
Definitely.
So that's encouraging.
Yes.
So, and you start off next Friday.
Yes, next Friday.
We've got a home match here, so should be a lot of fun. Who do we have Friday? I didn't even look it up.
SMU.
SMU. I'm glad you knew. We'd have been in trouble. So, well, we wish you the best of luck, and just congratulations on all your success. And go out there and score some more goals. You've already scored 16 goals and 7 assists in 41 games at Oklahoma State. So keep that going.
Yes,
all right.
Sir.
All right. Congratulations and good luck this season.
Thank you so much.
All right. That's Courtney DK. We're going to come back with more interviews here from OSU Football Media Days right after this.
Throws it deep down the far side. The pass is caught by David Glidden.
Play fake over the middle. The pass is caught.
Castleman takes a snap. He runs off left guard, pushing his way toward the end zone. He's in. Pistols firing.
This time they're throwing it back to the quarterback who's got blockers in front. There's a throw over the middle. He's got a man, and it's caught. One-handed touchdown catch.
It's amazing, so amazing, so amazing.
Washington nowhere to go.
It's amazing.
Rudolph over the top.
So amazing.
The pass is caught. And what a move by Brandon Shepard. He'll walk into the end zone. Touchdown.
And Rudolph's back to pass. Floats it out to the right flat. It's caught by Castleman at the 40. Lumbering down the right sideline. 45, 40, 35. Tackled at the 18-yard line. Oklahoma State captures the Cactus Bowl. A 30-22 victory over the Washington Huskies.
Good news, Cowboy fans, it is football season, and this guy's fired up about it just like you are. And we've got Kevin Peterson, a senior from Wagner, one of the true standouts on the Cowboy defense. And first of all, just tell everybody how practice is going so far.
Practice has been going really good. You know, it's been hot. Like I said, you check the heat index. I know everybody watches the news now, but it's been really good. You know, guys been flying around. Guys been really competing a lot for spots, so it's been fun.
It's got to help having the indoor practice facility, the Sherm Smith indoor practice facility. You guys can come in, get a little shade, and it feels like a big-time facility when you're in there too. So you've got to love having that at your fingertips.
Oh yeah, definitely. You know, anytime you can get out of the sun and go inside to where it's a little air conditioning inside, it's a lot of fun. You know, we go inside, and that's where we do a lot of team things, do a lot of 7-on things like that. And we really get a chance to get our legs back, get our breath back, but all at the same time, it's a lot of fun being able to use the Sherman E. Smith indoor facility.
You bet. And you talked about guys flying around the ball. I've noticed that at a couple of practices that I've attended. The defense is really flying around, and it's because of guys like you in the defensive secondary. I mean, you got to feel pretty good when you've got quality depth at the corner position. That's so important. Talk about some of your cohorts at the corner position and the playmakers we're going to see this year.
Oh yeah, definitely. You know, we got guys like Ashton Lampkin, who was down to injury last year. Ramon Richards, who stepped into the starting role after Ashton went down. Guys like Michael Hunter, who just transferred in from Indiana. Mike Tavius Jones, who's coming back this year. Chris Hardiman, who's a young guy. Darius Curry, who's a young guy. We have so much depth. It's really crazy. You go in the corner and we see all guys who have potential to start. So it's fun to be able to see us all compete at the same level, but at the same time, we're a family. We love each other. We joke around probably more than anybody on the team that you come in there and that you'll see. So it's a lot of fun to compete with those kind of guys, but at the same time, it's fun to be able to see we all have the opportunity to be starters.
Listen to all those names. Quality guys at the corner position. That's going to mean good news for Coach Spencer and the Cowboy defense. Talk about Coach Spencer's philosophy and what you guys want to do. I know you want to create turnovers. You stress that all the time, but talk a little bit about how he coaches this defense.
Coach Spencer's whole philosophy this year is we're taking it back, and that can mean anywhere to we're getting the ball back for the offense, or we're trying to get championships back. We did back in 2011. So, you know, we really preach championships a lot. We always talk about getting the ball back, be able to get the offense back, chances to score and things like that. And anytime we get the ball back from their offense to give it to our offense, no points on the board, going for our potential points for all on the board. So it's a lot of fun, and Coach Spencer just loves the game. You know, he loves the game just like we love it. He probably loves it a little more than some other guys on our team. He's really excited. You know, you see pictures of him jumping up and jumping around with us after good plays to make on defense and stuff like that. So he really loves the game and he loves us, and we really preach that through ourselves and through our teammates.
We talked about the depth at the corner position, but really probably the best depth we've had under Mike Gundy's head coaching era here on the defensive side of the ball. So talk a little bit about those guys. I mean, last year the linebackers were depleted. This year it's really one of your strengths.
Oh yes, sir, definitely. We have Ron Simmons coming back. We have Seth Jacobs coming back. We have a JUCO transfer, Jordan Burton, who's going to be really good for us throughout practice. You see those guys flying around, making plays, coaching some of the young guys who don't know what they're doing or who's trying to get a depth to what the complaints that thing is, and just really all the way down to the O-line. You know, we have big Emmanuel Ogbah. I know you hear his name all the time. Emmanuel Ogbah, Jimmy Bean, guys like Vincent Taylor, Trace Clark, Eric Davis, just countless guys that can make plays for us now. They're really showing competitiveness and really want to get back on the field.
That's awesome. Your senior season, can you believe it?
I only think of my senior season when people ask me, how do you feel it's your senior season? I don't know. Every time somebody asks me, I got to rethink and go back in my mind.
Has it kind of flown by for you?
Oh yeah, definitely. Me and Ashley were just talking about walking on the way over here. I remember this whole media day things like it was yesterday.
Yeah.
And it really was almost 3-4 years ago. So it's a lot of fun to be able to see the growth and the maturity that you go over the years of being in Oklahoma State.
Well, we're looking for a lot of leadership out of you and a lot of INTs. Let's get some pick sixes this year and have some fun on the defensive side of the ball. Good luck in your senior year.
Thank you. That's the plan. Yes, sir.
All right. That's Kevin Peterson, one of the Cowboys you're truly proud of out there. He's going to be a great leader for us. And we're going to come back and talk more at OSU Football Media Days in just a moment. We've got Football 101 for women. We've got a little video you're going to want to check out. It's a great program. You ladies that haven't been a part of it, you need to. And you guys that are watching, you need to send your ladies up here because they will love it. So check it out. We'll be right back.
We're going to work on a 3-step drop, rapid fire. We're going to have them all ready for you. Go to the bucket.
We welcome you back to the OSU Athletic Center. We're in the auxiliary gym here, and we are talking a little OSU football today. It's OSU Football Media Days. Been to a few practices. I've got my blood pumping for football. I know you do as well, and we've got a great OSU story here. Got Brad Lundblade here from Argyle, Texas, went to Liberty Christian High School, and you're really a tremendous story. I mean, first of all, tell our OSU faithful out there how you got to Oklahoma State. What brought you here?
Well, you know, coming out of high school, I had 11 Division I offers. You know, kind of some smaller schools. You know, they were all Division I though. You know, I took some visits to those schools and you know, really looked around a lot and you know, thought long and hard about where I wanted to go. And I'd made a few visits to Stillwater and really just fell in love with it, but I never got an offer or anything. And you know, so as it got closer to signing day, I kind of realized that, you know, I probably wasn't going to get an offer. And then, you know, my parents and I kind of started talking about, you know, well, you know, maybe I could possibly walk on. And and so ultimately that's, you know, we talked about it a lot, and that's ultimately what I ended up doing.
So you walked on last year as a true freshman, and then you're thrown into the fire. I mean, talk about that. I mean, that had to be a little bit eye-opening for you, but you handled it like a champion.
Yeah, you know, it was definitely a big step. You know, my first game was against TCU. It was at TCU, and you know, 2 weeks before that, I was on scout team, and you know, hardly getting any reps in practice and stuff like that. And so it was, you know, it was a little overwhelming at first, but you know, the coaches did a great job of, you know, helping get me prepared and everything, and you know, ultimately putting me in a position to have success on the field.
We've had some great walk-ons that have had success here at Oklahoma State. Two that come to mind in recent years: Dan Bailey, who's Mr. Automatic in the NFL for the Dallas Cowboys; Brandon Whedon with the Dallas Cowboys. We've had so many good ones out there. Now you're one of those success stories. So big news came last week in front of your team and everybody. They announced that you're on scholarship. Tell us about that feeling when that announcement was made.
Yeah, it was an amazing feeling, you know, just, you know, after, you know, being here a year and working hard every day, you know, obviously coming in and walking on, that was, you know, one of my goals. I wanted to do that for my parents, you know, to get a scholarship for them. So it was just, you know, really a great feeling, you know, having Coach Gundy announce my name and, you know, Blake Jarwin and Chad Whitener's names. Yeah. You know, it was a great feeling for all of us, and, you know, being able to stand up there on that stage and just kind of, you know, breathe that sigh of relief to know that, you know, we finally earned the scholarship was a great feeling.
Well, and last year the offensive line was so depleted, and injuries were a part of that. And then all of a sudden you're thrown in the fire, like we talked about as a true freshman. This year it looks like there's some really solid depth there. Talk about that offensive line and how you feel that that unit's going to perform.
Yeah, you know, I think we're looking pretty good this year. You know, like you said, last year we were kind of young and inexperienced, you know, as a result of injuries and some other things like that. But you know, I think ultimately that ended up helping us, because now going into this year, you know, we have multiple guys who have a lot of, you know, game time experience now, and so I think that'll really help us out this season.
All right, I think offensive line will be one of the strengths for Coach Gundy and the Cowboys this year, and this guy's a big part of it. He's starting at center and doing a great job, and we're so proud of you, and congratulations on the scholarship.
Thank you.
Best of luck this season. All right.
Thank you.
That's Brad Lundblade, a great OSU story, and we're going to come back with more from OSU Football Media Days in just a moment. I think we're going to walk-on scholarships. How do we do that? That's like perfect timing. We'll be right back after this.
We have a long history here with walk-ons. You guys see this wall out here that's got all the walk-ons that have come through here for a long time. Walk-ons have always been special to our coaching staff and myself, because you guys know how I feel about it. Walk-ons have always had a special place in my heart, because they're willing to say, you know what, I'm going to find a way to pay for school. I'm going to find a way to eat, even though now we get to eat. I'm going to find somewhere to live. I'm going to get to practice on time. I'm going to be at meetings. I may have to work some in the summer, but I'm going to do it because I love football. All right? And I want these three guys to come up here, and you guys can give them a hand. Blake Jarwin, Brad Lundblade, and Chad Whitener. You guys can go up. These guys, and Chad obviously transferred in and was at Cal, but came in and paid his own way. And then, you know, Lundblad comes in, competes as a freshman at an offensive line position. He's way undersized. He looks a lot better now. And Jarwin looked like me when he got here. And look at him. So there's other guys out there. There's other guys in this program that are close to being in that position. But I just wanted to bring these guys up here and tell them how much we appreciate their contribution to Oklahoma State football, and they should be very proud, okay? All right, guys, you can go sit down. Good job.
Welcome back, everyone, OSU Football Media Days, and I am honored and intimidated to have this big man next to me. I threatened to do a few push-ups because I don't feel like I'm bulging like you are, big man, but it wouldn't work anyway. But so proud to have you here, and proud to have you at Oklahoma State. We're all proud of your success through the last couple of years, and that's Emmanuel Ogbah. He was the Defensive Lineman of the Year in the Big 12 Conference last year. Congratulations on that award.
Thank you, sir.
We're looking for big things out of you. So tell us, how has practice been going so far?
I mean, practice has been going good. We have guys stepping up to their role. We have younger guys and all that just doing their thing. So it's going pretty good.
Do you have goals for yourself that you set this season? Like, I want to have this, this number of sacks. Or are you that kind of guy? I'm just asking off the cuff. Do you try to do that, or do you say, hey, this is a team game, and I just want to do whatever we need to do to win?
Yeah, that's how I see it. I see it's a team game. I'll do my very best to be best for the team. So I feel like I'm the kind of guy that just go out there and do the best I can, just help my teammates. I could pressure the pass so they could throw an interception for guys like Kevin Peterson, Ramon Richards, and Ashton Lampkin.
You bet. So you're just the disruptor. You're just ready to disrupt.
Yes, sir.
Go get it. So, so talk about this defense. We've talked a little bit in a couple of other interviews that this is probably the best depth we've ever had on defense, at least under Coach Gundy.
Yes,
and that's got to do nothing but help you. But we've got 4 quality corners, maybe even deeper than that. You've got a linebacking core that's healthy again, unlike last year. So just talk about this defensive unit and what your expectations are.
I mean, we have a good defense coming back. We have, we have a lot of guys that they're stepping into their roles and doing their thing. We have guys like Ron Simmons, the leader of the defense, so more experience. He knows everything that's going on and all that. I mean, we need guys like him to depend on him, stuff like that. And I have to step up and be a big role because I kind of lead by. I'm not a spoken leader, but I lead by example. So,
right.
Yeah,
that's the best kind of leader.
Yes, sir.
It really is.
Yes, sir. So I kind of talk to guys. I have to step up and talk to them now and just mentor the young guys. So.
Yeah, you bet. You got to be a leader. And your junior season, has it kind of flown by for you here at Oklahoma State?
Yeah, it's it's going to my junior year on the field, so I mean, it kind of has flown by. The offseason flown by real fast. I didn't expect. We have a month away to the first game, so it went by real fast. So
yeah, you bet. Well, you get to go up against this offense every day in practice. Probably before too long, you'll be getting tired of each other. But tell our fans what you see when you watch Mason Rudolph and you watch these receivers and this offensive line that's healthy and deeper than it has been. Talk about the guys on the other side of the ball and what our fans can expect.
I mean, we have a more experienced offensive line. I mean, they're ready. They're there. They're gonna play good. We have Mason. Mason is the best poised quarterback I've seen since I've been here. And I mean, he's actually stepped up to his role. He kind of leads the team now. I've seen him do checks that I haven't seen him done before. He goes and checks. If he reads the defense or blitzing something, he goes and checks it and all that. I mean, that's really impressive for a guy his age. So.
What have you seen out of the running backs? Everybody's wondering about Chris Carson. Rennie Childs. We know that he can really hit the open field. So what do you see in the running backs?
I mean, I see we have 2 great running backs. We have Rennie and we have Chris Carson. I mean, they're both going to be great for us. I mean, they both take the same amount of reps during practice. So I mean, we're just going to see who wanted more. So
all right, you got a great smile. You do a great job for Oklahoma State. You're a great representative, and I think I'd be remiss if I didn't try to get you to commit to 1 more year. 1 more year. Can we get you to sign that on the dotted line on that? I'm just kidding you. We know we're going to see you play on Sundays, and we just look for a big junior year out of you. So good luck.
Thank you, sir.
All right, that's Emmanuel Ogbah joining us here on OSU Football Media Days. We're going to show you a little bit of the first football practice. So stay tuned, and we'll be back with more interviews right after this. And we welcome you back and thank you for joining us. We know you're all ready for Cowboy football. We've been talking linebackers, so why not talk to one of the linebackers? And he is a sophomore, transferred in from Cal Berkeley, looking for big things out of Chad Whitener. And Chad, first of all, congratulations. You were one of the guys we talked about earlier with Brad Lundblade, one of the 3 guys that got awarded for your hard work and got a scholarship. Tell us about that moment when they announced that. That had to feel really good.
Well, thank you for the congratulations, but it felt incredible. It was something that I didn't know was going to happen. I knew probably in the spring I was for sure going to be on, but as far as this semester, I had no idea. Right. So sitting in the meeting, just started hearing him start talking about walk-ons. I honestly thought about Jarwin and Lundblade first because they've actually played here.
Right.
So whenever he said my name too, I was just I was taken aback.
Yeah.
So it was a great feeling too.
You know, the coaches have all said that is basically the best moment for them in coaching is when they get to award guys that have worked so hard in practice that have just been walk-ons and had to pay their own way. Coach Gundy and Coach Yurcich both have mentioned in the last few days how that's really a highlight for them. So that's got to make you feel good too.
Yes, sir, it does. It really just makes all the hard work and just having gone from playing as a true freshman at Berkeley to coming here and having to sit out a whole year, it really just makes all that hard work as far as being a red shirt and everything worth it. So it was great.
Tell our people how you got to Oklahoma State, because you were at Cal Berkeley, you decided to transfer in, you're a Texas kid, so tell us about that journey.
Well, I got recruited originally by Coach Tedford, and I went out there and Sonny Dykes was the head coach, went out, played. Really didn't enjoy it. I didn't enjoy myself as far as like the culture and everything, and I didn't feel like I was developing as a football player, as a person, as good as I could be.
Right.
So I made a decision to transfer after that first season, and I couldn't leave because of the whole transfer rule if I would have lost a year of eligibility. So I stayed out there, got in contact with Coach Spencer through Coach Wickline, and then came out and visited during spring break, loved it, and then I made my decision to come here and show up in summer and work my butt off.
And the rest is history. You got that scholarship. So talk about your linebacking teammates, because this is really considered one of the strengths for the Cowboys after last year having so many injuries, and you had transferred in, so you weren't even eligible to play last year,
yes,
right?
Sir.
So you could have really helped us last year. But talk about the depth at linebacker.
It's incrediable. It's not only that we have a lot of depth. We have a lot of chemistry within the linebacking room. We all crack jokes on each other, but it's all in good fun. And as far as talent-wise, we all really push each other to be better. Like if you watch film, like somebody that was behind you, they're really making gains towards you, or someone in front of you, like you feel like you can catch them at the same time. So, I mean, it's really competitive, and it's really pushing everybody to be better.
What position are you playing at linebacker?
Middle.
Middle linebacker.
Yes, sir.
Okay. So do you enjoy Coach Spencer's scheme right now? Are you excited about what's coming up this season?
It's so fun.
Yeah.
It's a fun scheme to play in.
That's great.
Yes,
I like
sir.
how your face lights up when you say that. So good. We look for big things out of you. Again, congratulations on earning that scholarship. We're glad you're at Oklahoma State. You look good in orange, by the way.
I feel great in orange.
Let's have some fun this year.
Yes,
good
sir.
luck.
Thank you.
All right, that's Chad Widener, one of our linebackers, one of the really deep spots on this Cowboy team. We're going to come back with more from OSU Football Media Day. We've got a season ticket promo for you. If you don't have a season ticket yet, you need to get them. Come on, it's Cowboy football season. We'll be back right after this. Welcome back to OSU Football Media Days. I requested this guy. I had to have Austin Hayes, one of your great Cowboy receivers. And Austin, I'm just happy that you're healthy. You know, let's talk a little bit about, you've been fighting through the injury bug, seems like forever here, and we finally got you healthy. So first of all, how frustrating is it when you're dinged up a little bit and you can't get on the field? That's got to be hard.
Yeah, the hardest part is just not being out there with your friends. You know, they get to get on the plane and go play in all the big stadiums and play in Big 12 games, and you know I got to watch them on TV. I think that's the biggest thing, just not being able to be out there with them. And it sucks, you know, just not being a part of the daily routine. You're kind of on your own schedule when you're hurt. Right. More time in the training room, less time, you know, in the weight room doing all the actual lifts that the real team's doing, and I'm kind of just doing my own thing.
It's got to be hard too when you had early success and then you get dinged up and you miss so much action, but now you're healthy and you look good out there. I've seen a couple of practices and you grin a little bit when I say that, but you got to feel good. I mean, tell me, do you feel good?
I feel good. I feel good. I was telling somebody else I haven't had anything wrong since January.
Okay.
So I've been healthy all the way through off season, spring ball, summer workouts, and now camp. So I'm really excited.
Talk about the wide receiver crew here. We've got a really good core group and some real playmakers. So there's a lot of depth at receiver for Oklahoma State.
Yeah, we have a lot of depth and a lot of guys that are getting older now. Marcel's a junior, and I think everybody expects him to have a big year. We saw in the last 2 games what Brandon's capable of.
Right.
David was, you know, the most consistent guy all year last year. He's coming back, and then, you know, 2 years ago, it was Juwan's show.
Right.
You know, and we got a new kid, Jalen McCluskey, who's had a really good camp so far. I think he's going to be good, too.
Yeah, I hear he might be a return guy possibly is what they're kind of floating out there. And I don't even think we mentioned James Washington. He's pretty good.
Oh, yeah, James, yeah.
Yeah, we can't
forgot about James.
He did a pretty good job last year.
James is very good, yes.
Yeah, so do you guys a tight-knit group? Do you guys pull for each other?
Yes, we do.
Even with the competition?
Yes, we do. We're very, very tight. There's never any, you know, hard feelings or anything like that. It's just competition when we're out there, and even then it's a lot more laugh and good times than it is, you know, crying and this and that. So it's really fun to be a part of.
I know you're really tight with J.W. Walsh. I see you guys out and about a lot, and you know, he's I think a lot of our fans just love J.W. And the fact that he has stuck it out, you know, I think he feels like he's a Cowboy. This is home. But with the transfer rule, you know, he could have gone somewhere else and tried to secure more playing time. But he said, no, I'm a Cowboy. I'm going to stay right here. And, boy, that means a lot to this team, to have a guy like that as the backup. Also a guy that can come in on short yardage, a guy that can come in certain packages. But just talk about your buddy J-Dub and what a leader he is.
Well, I just think the perception that everybody has of him, he just proved that that's correct. Everybody knows he's a great guy, but to us, you know, he's you know, one of the biggest leaders on the team, and if he were to choose to go somewhere else, I mean, that would be detrimental to, you know, us, because there's just something about him. He knows how to lead. He's just got that thing inside of him, and he just gets it, and people follow him. So, you know, it's awesome that he stuck it out. I think it just shows what a great teammate he is, and a great guy, and he's one of my best friends, obviously. So I'm glad he stayed.
Do you ever get tired of him when you're running sprints? Because he's like the Energizer Bunny. The guy never slows down, right?
Well, I mean, I don't have to run against him. He's considered big skill. So he runs with the big skill group and just leaves all them in the dust, and but runs it at skill time or faster.
Right.
So, you know, Coach Glass will give him 60 seconds, he'll run it in 50, whereas everybody else, you know, 58, 59.
Right,
and,
right.
You know,
so he's got it
doesn't apply to
good,
J-Dub.
Yeah,
he gets it. Yeah.
I got you. Well, you know, Coach Gundy says you can win a lot of games with J.W. Walsh, and you can win a lot of games with Mason Rudolph. So we're fortunate at Oklahoma State to have that kind of depth. But we talked about J.W. a little bit. Talk about Mason and what he brings to this team.
He's got a gun. He can cover. You can play the whole field with him because he's just got a monster arm, and he just gets how to, you know, stand in the pocket and deliver the ball. You know, that's just something that's kind of hard to find, really. A guy that's just, I mean, weighs 230 pounds. He's 6'4", and he knows what people are doing, and he throws it to where they're not. and you can be pretty good when you don't turn the ball over and throw it all over the field.
Well, I'm so glad you're healthy and back, and I just want you to have a great season this year.
I appreciate it very much.
All right, Austin
Absolutely.
Hayes, everybody.
Thank you.
One of your Cowboy receivers. Look for big things out of him this year, and it's going to be a fun year. So we want you on board. Make sure you get those season tickets. We showed you that a minute ago. We've got another video for you. It's called the GPS Tracker, Strength and Conditioning. It's a Rob Glass thing. You're going to want to see it. We'll be back right after this.
Staying on the cutting edge, something that's kind of risen to the surface now is the GPS tracking of the athletes, and to understand the stresses and the demands that their bodies are going through whether it's a training session with us or whether it's even at practice or even during a game. So with the GPS system in place, we're able to monitor each athlete individually. Maybe we may find that somebody's not performing as well this Saturday as maybe they have in previous Saturdays, and we can go back and look at the data and maybe isolate or find a reason for that during the week. Maybe he got too much volume during practice and then he wasn't able to recover properly before Saturday. So we can also measure through that GPS acceleration rate, deceleration rate, maximum velocity, overall distance traveled in a practice.
What it allows us to do is have some science-based evidence to be able to see the performance of the guys. Biggest benefits of this is being able to reduce the chances of injuries due to overtraining, as well as helping us develop a plan that helps each individual athlete reach his optimal performance levels.
Essentially, we have a little chip that goes in the athlete's shirt or in their shoulder pads if we're practicing, and that tracks each athlete with that chip and able to give us the information. But the big thing for me was we wanted to have somebody on site that could collect that information, and Anthony Hibbert, one of our strength coaches, is dedicated to that component, and he oversees the tracking and the measuring of the athlete's volume, workload, and all the components that come with that.
We have the ability to be able to do live sessions, which is at that moment when they're performing, be able to track the data. We have a antenna that we can be able to bring out there. We can be able to, at that very moment, see on the laptop, see what the guys are doing and how they're performing.
The information essentially goes from the downloading of the chip into the computer, and Anthony going through the system and creating the charts, and then we take those charts to the coaches, and they're able to kind of disseminate from there how they'd like to maybe adjust or move practice around depending on how the athletes are responding.
All right, we're sticking with the receiver theme here. We go from Austin Hayes to his good buddy David Glidden. And David, out of Mustang, Oklahoma, one of the true playmakers for Coach Gundy and the Cowboys. And First thing I got to say is going into your senior season. I mean, is it surreal to you?
It really is. I've told a few guys, and I actually addressed it to the team whenever I spoke to the team a couple days ago, that this time flies by. You won't believe it until it actually happens to you, and that's what the older guys said to us, when we were younger. But it really is. It's so surreal, and this time it's flown by. But I couldn't be more grateful for the opportunity that Oklahoma State's given me.
J-Dub told me the other day when I ran into him that he's just trying to soak it all up. Are you doing the same thing?
Oh, every single moment. Yeah, like this moment right here, all of it. And picture day out there, fan day today, all those times with your teammates, guys they're out there groaning and moaning about it being hot, taking pictures, and but you're sitting there trying to tell them, man, these opportunities, they're going to go a lot faster than you think, and there's only so many of them. So try to take them in, because you don't want to take them for granted.
You're kind of a mighty might. I hope you don't mind me, using that term. But who do you try to emulate? I mean, who have you watched? I mean, I'm assuming maybe a Wes Welker. I mean, you tell me, who do you really look up to in the when you watch football?
There's always been a few guys, but mainly Wes Welker was one growing up for sure, and especially him being from Oklahoma City,
right,
my hometown, and Josh Cooper for one too. Obviously played here, played in the NFL. From my high school, I'd be crazy not to look up to him, But now, as of late, I look at guys like Cole Beasley, watch film on him, Julian Edelman, all guys of similar stature, and so I try to take bits and pieces from everybody, learn from everybody that I can. But those two main guys was definitely Welker and Josh Cooper.
Well, when I thought of this question earlier today, if I got a chance to interview you, those are the four guys I thought of. So that's funny.
Really?
But was Josh Cooper one of the reasons you decided to come to Oklahoma State? Tell us about that. How did you make the decision to wear the bright orange?
Well, honestly, the decision to come here is probably one of the easiest decisions I've ever made. I grew up OSU fan, diehard Poke. My family is big time Cowboys, and so I was born into it. And the day I received the offer here, it was so easy for me to make that decision. I honestly wanted to tell Gundy right then when I was sitting in his office that I'll play for you, absolutely. But my dad wasn't there that day, and so I went home that night, talked to him, and his eyes just lit up, and when he found out. So I called him the next day and told him. That's when I actually committed. But the opportunity to come here was incredible, and I actually did have a relationship with Josh Cooper, and so when he was up here and when I did actually commit, it kind of gave me a sense of comfort, just somebody to kind of look up to. And when I was up here, he would kind of show me around the facilities a little more than you got to just on the recruiting trip, and so he kind of, he had a little influence as far as my comfort level in Stillwater.
Sure.
But as far as me making my decision, I knew where I wanted to be my whole life.
That's awesome. I love that. So being a guy that's been here since 1989, I love that answer right there, because I bleed the orange just like you do. With this helmet sitting here, I've got to ask you this question. Last year wasn't going real well. Mason comes in late, with J-Dub's injury and everything. Mason ends up coming in late, and Baylor game looks better, and then obviously the big win against OU. First of all, that had to be a thrill right there.
Absolutely. I honestly, I just got chills.
I did too.
At Media Day a couple weeks ago in Dallas, I got asked about that question about Bedlam, obviously, and almost every single time they asked me about it, and they tell me to take them through a moment or something, and it sent chills up my body. And just, as everyone knows, we have a lot of out-of-state guys, Texas guys on this roster, and kind of what I think you were hinting at as far as me being a home guy, Oklahoma guy. Man, and the way where I grew up is just like, I feel like it was Sooners everywhere I grew up.
Right.
Everybody was an OU fan.
You can't get away from it.
I won't go any more on that, but that's, you hit it. And so, gosh, I remember one of my best friends was growing up. We were OSU fans, and I felt like we were the only two in the school,
Right.
And so those moments when we won Bedlam in like 01, 02, those years, I'll never forget those. And then to be a part of it last year and my freshman year here, really when we won the Big 12 championship, those are things that those will never slip my memory.
Yeah, that'll never leave you. But the reason I pointed to this helmet is the next game, Coach Gundy comes up with, and Coach Yurcik's, the James Castleman game plan.
Yeah.
So to me, it looked like, and I was going through my cancer scare at that moment, so I actually didn't make it to the bowl, but I was tuned in watching every play. That was about as exciting a football game as I've ever watched. And to me, it looked like you guys were so fired up to play. Did that game plan maybe get you guys a little more excited? Even though it's a Cactus Bowl, it wasn't the national championship game. It was just kind of fun knowing that James may come in and you guys had a little bit of trickery up your sleeves, and it just looked like you guys were really ready to play that game.
All right. Well, first off, to say that we're glad to have you back and where you're at and through your battle and everything. We're so glad to have you back. And but yeah, you hit it perfectly. I mean, it was just. We called it a winter camp, what we went through, the preparation for the bowl game. Gundy actually started calling it a winter camp because we were in there, we were grinding, we were practicing hard and trying to take advantage of every practice. But at the same time, the mood was light, and guys were in there. We were battling, we were fighting and trying to get better. But you hit it with the whole Castleman package and all that. We're out there having fun too, and guys are out there one-on-one and all that stuff in practice. It just led up perfectly to the game, and then once the game time hit, we just went out there flying around. Everyone's having a good time. The excitement on the sideline was so much higher that game, and I can't even explain it. You could probably ask any of the coaches, strength coaches, anybody. That game, I think the strength coaches had probably the hardest time that game of all year, even probably over Bedlam, of keeping guys back, because that's their jobs on the sideline. Is keeping the players back.
Get back coaches.
Yeah, exactly. That's what everybody knows them as. And so, gosh, it was just that atmosphere, and to have the support of all the people, the Cowboy fans that came out there to travel all the way to Arizona for the Cactus Bowl. Like you said, not the national championship, but the support we had out there for that game was it was incredible. And so. It was a lot of fun, and it was an honor to be a part of that.
Well, and you could see the excitement even from my living room, I'm telling you. That's why I asked the question. But it really saved the season, and there's so much optimism in the air. So you've got to love that. Your senior year, things are looking up for the Cowboys, and you guys have a legitimate chance. I think you feel this way.
Absolutely.
You have a legitimate chance to battle for the Big 12 title.
Oh, absolutely. We're very confident in what we have. As you said, the momentum coming into this year off that, it's great when you can build off of that, and as I said before, you get those extra practices, it only makes guys better, It's instead of being at home, maybe lifting some weights, we're in there battling with each other every day in the winter. And so the confidence we carried over from all that in the spring and everything now is the intensity's high, and we got a lot of expectations for ourselves internally in the program.
Well, you're a Cowboy senior, so I'm going to put you on the spot because you've got to be a leader. All right, I want you to look in the camera, and I want you to tell the fans why they need to get their season tickets and why they should be in their seat to watch this Cowboy team.
You guys need to get their season tickets right now. I kid you not, this is going to be the most exciting year of Cowboy football that you all have ever seen. I know we've had Barry Sanders, we had a Fiesta Bowl victory, but this year right here is going to be something special. Mark my word.
I love it. This guy's a natural salesman. That's great. One thing you got to be grateful for is James Castleman's out of eligibility, because I think he might have been slotted at inside receiver after the success of that game, right?
That's crazy,
you're glad he's a senior and out of here, right?
I told him, I said, man, you took away some of my catches that game. I knew it. But no, he's a good buddy of mine. I was so happy to see that happen for him that game.
The check engine light came on.
It absolutely did.
Yeah, that's awesome. David, congratulations on what you've done so far here at Oklahoma State, and have a great senior year.
Thank you so much.
That's David Glidden. Look for big things out of him and big things out of the Cowboys this year. And we want you to be here for all of it. David just gave us the best sales pitch he could. But get your season tickets, get your popcorn ready, and get in your seat, because these Cowboys are going to be a lot of fun to watch on both sides of the ball, and it should be one of the best seasons you've seen of Cowboy football. We want you here. We want you on the road as well. So be a part of Cowboy football and David Glidden's senior season, and we look forward to seeing you in Stillwater. It's right around the corner. It's Cowboy football season. Thanks for joining us for OSU Football Media Days, and we'll see you down the road in Boone Pickens Stadium.